saliva glands in my neck. Gout was chronic, but could be controlled by medication. The swollen glands were more disturbing, and just to be safe, my family doctor sent me to a specialist. A young woman who didn't look old enough to have been admitted to medical school. "We'll need to do a fiber optic laryngoscopy." She opened a drawer and took out a coil of tubing. On one end was a small probe, the other end was attached to a device that looked vaguely like a pistol with a video screen. "This is an ENT scope." "You want to put that down my throat?" "Actually," she said, "the cable goes in through your nose." "My nose?" "We use an anesthetic spray." "You want to put that in my nose?" "You'll hardly feel a thing." So we're in Prague, and it's late afternoon, and Mimi has had her fill of show tunes. We wander the food stands, check out the offerings to see if there's anything we recognize. Mimi takes a long look at something called tridelnik. "You think this is the Czech version of fry bread?" And when we run out of park and bands and food, Mimi consults the map. I can see adventure sparkling in her eyes. I can hear determination lurking in her voice. "Why don't we explore the river?" says Mimi. "See what we can find." What we find are several giant bronze babies frozen in mid-crawl. I take a picture of Mimi standing next to one of the babies, and I take a picture of Mimi trying to plank on a giant baby's butt. "See," says Mimi, "this is why we travel." "They don't have faces." "It's probably symbolic. I bet it has to do with television and the angst of modern existence." Farther along, we come upon a row of yellow penguins standing in a line on a platform in the river. Mimi consults the guidebook. "They're made out of recycled bottles. It's supposed to be a comment on global warming." "Yellow penguins." 34 yellow penguins. We find a bench and sit down. On the river, paddle boats done up to look like swans and vintage cars drift by. The sun is low, and the light on the water is golden and glorious. I'm tempted to point out that for less money and effort we could be sitting on a bench along the Speed River with much the same effect. But I know better. I've always wondered if doctors are like politicians, if they actually believe the lies they tell. Having a tube shoved up my nose hurt like hell. It hurt going in and it hurt coming out. "Did you know you have a slightly deviated septum?" "What about my saliva glands?" "They're definitely swollen," the doctor told me. "How would you feel about a biopsy?" "You want to cut me open?" "It's the only definitive way to rule out lymphoma." I said no. Mimi said yes. In the end, medical science removed one of my saliva glands. Day surgery. Home that evening with a drain bag hanging off the side of my neck. The following week I was back in the doctor's office. "It's not cancer." "So what is it?" "A swollen gland." "Why is it swollen?" "There could be many reasons." "The other gland is also swollen." "We could take it out as well," the doctor suggested, "if you like." "Why would we do that?" "As a precaution." "Against what?" I didn't have the second gland taken out. One round of day surgery and a scar on my neck were enough fun. As well, with the one saliva gland gone, my mouth was as dry as the Okanagan, and for all the probing and the cutting, we still didn't know what had caused the swelling in the first place. "It's not lymphoma," Mimi told me. "How about we leave good news alone?" So we're in Prague, and it's evening, and now we're lost. Not lost, just somewhat confused. We've come away from the river into a web of streets that don't match the streets on Mimi's map. "It's the right map," she assures me. "It's just that some of the streets have different names." I wonder if the map that Mimi has was printed before Czechoslovakia was broken up into the Czech Republic and Slovakia. I'm not sure that this would answer the street name question, but it might provide a historical excuse for any discrepancies.